Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Church of Infinite Spirit. It's so nice to see you all here today. My name is Reverend Jamie Endriss, and if you're new to this church, please know that we're very glad you're here and we welcome you. And to all our friends who have been here before, it's great to have you back too. Welcome, everyone. Our community has been meeting in Denver in person since 1999. And of course, right now we're meeting by Zoom. We'll be excited to return to services in person when the time is right. But for now, I think most people are pretty familiar with Zoom. And just so you know, we'll keep you muted during the service. So no need to worry about that until later. You can feel free to be on or off camera as it suits you. And later we'll have a little social time when you might want to be on camera. But for now, just relax into whatever feels best to you. As I mentioned, this is the Church of Infinite Spirit. It is the mission of this church to inspire spiritual freedom by supporting people in knowing themselves as spiritual beings and as part of the consciousness that creates this universe. And we support the joyous transformation that comes from that experience. You'll notice that we're pretty casual, so please make yourself comfortable. Our intention is that this church is a respite from the noise of life as a space of remembrance of our own spiritual nature and a place of joyful connection. We are non-dogmatic and non-judgmental. There's no control, punishment, or reward energy here. We acknowledge and respect your divine right to create your own reality and manage your energy as you choose. I'm so grateful that you're with us today, taking a break to remember your spiritual nature and give this gift to yourself. This church offers a take what you can use and leave the rest environment. Our intention is to inspire you to find your own truth rather than convincing you of ours. I hope you will receive whatever works for you and simply let go of anything that doesn't. We always begin with a short meditation. Meditation is a great way to center ourselves and let go and become present in this moment to what's happening right here, right now. Meditation makes everything easier because it reminds us of our spiritual nature and opens us up to new possibilities. Doing it together is exponentially powerful and creative. It's a case where 2 + 2 equals way more than 4 because the energy expands when more of us are meditating together. Our method of meditation uses a simple guided 3-step process that employs your imagination and intention. If you'd like to join in this meditation, it's helpful to close your eyes and place your feet flat on the floor. So let's begin. First, take a nice deep breath for your body. Close your eyes, put your feet on the floor if that's comfortable for you. The first step in our process of meditation is to ground ourselves to the center of the earth. To do so, notice your tailbone, that place where your spine meets your chair. It's where you'd have a tail if you had one. Pick a color. Any color you'd like other than black or white is fine. Could be some fall colors, orange, yellows, reds, or it could be any color you like, green or pink, whatever suits you right in this moment. Imagine a colored beam of light starting at your tailbone and growing down through your chair, through your floor, into the earth's crust, down through all the layers of lava and rocks, and down into the center of the earth. This is called a grounding cord, and it serves as a trash chute where you can send all the energies that are no longer serving you down this chute, down this grounding cord, and into the center of the earth for transformation. You can let go of energies you don't want or need anymore. Anything that's not serving you, just let it go. Imagine it all leaving your space, down the grounding cord, and into the center of the earth. Notice how it feels to be connected and releasing those energies into the center of the earth. The next step is to focus your energy, focus your intentions, focus your attention into the center of your head. That place behind your eyes, between your ears, sometimes called the third eye or the sixth chakra. And it's the center of clear vision or clairvoyance. You automatically open your sixth chakra by placing your attention here. And you can focus here anytime you'd like to calm your mind and your body and be in the present moment. Notice how it feels to be focused in the center of your head. The next step is pick a color for your aura bubble. Your aura bubble is that field of energy that surrounds your body in all directions. It's about an arm's length out from the body. And it's part of what defines us and our experiences. The aura bubble is energy. And to manage your energy field, pick a color. It can be the same color or a different color than you picked for your grounding cord. And imagine painting the outside edge of your aura bubble that color. Or just imagine the outside edge becoming the color you chose. Make sure that color goes all the way around the back, down below your feet, above your head, around the sides and front. Kind of like the way a balloon skin contains the air within it. Notice that you can change the color anytime you like. And notice the way it contains your aura bubble and how that feels. So now, notice yourself grounded with your attention focused in the center of your head and your aura bubble painted the color you chose, releasing all the energies that no longer serve you, and notice the way you feel in this moment. Now, let's add back an energy or vibration that you'd like more of in your experience. This vibration will replace the energies you've been releasing through your grounding cord. What energy would you like more of in your experience? Is it peace or joy, fun or freedom, amusement? Just pick one for the moment. And now picture a big gold sun or a ball of golden light sitting right above your head. Make it really big and bright, maybe as big as your aura bubble even. And now write that word you chose on the side of that sun. If you chose peace, write Peace on the side of the gold sun, and then watch as that word absorbs into the golden energy of the gold sun and transforms that energy into the vibration you chose. It's kind of like if you drop some food coloring into a glass of water, it changes the color of the water. In the same way, a new vibration changes the vibration of the gold sun. And once you have that big vibrating golden ball of light above your head, imagine poking a hole in the bottom of that gold sun and allowing that energy to just flow down into your head and throughout your body and expand out into your aura bubble. Imagine it flowing into every cell in your head and neck, your shoulders, and all the way down your arms to your fingertips, down through your chest and back, your belly and hips, down through your legs and feet, and then expanding out from your body all the way out to the edges of your aura bubble, so that you're sitting there in the middle of that energy you chose, vibrating at that energy. Notice how that energy feels in your space. Did you know you could change the way you feel at any time just by bringing in a gold sun of whatever it is you would prefer to be experiencing? Take one more moment to notice how it feels in the present moment, grounded by that colored beam of light, connecting you to the earth, focused in the center of your head, sitting in the middle of your aura bubble, painted the color you chose, and having brought into your body an energy field, the vibration or energy you chose. Take one more nice, big, deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes and you can stretch if you'd like to. Notice if you feel different now from when you started. In the paradigm of information we work with, managing the energies we carry and being present to this moment can make a big difference in our experience. Meditation helps us remember that we have the power to change our energy and shift our focus and experience. Okay, so today I want to talk about letting go of judgment. But first, I want to say this is a no self-judgment zone. For the next little while at least, I ask that there be no judging yourself, and especially no judging yourself for judging yourself or anyone else. So most of us in this community have recognized times in our lives where we were judging someone or something, but realized it didn't really serve us to do so. But no matter how hard we tried, we couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was happening was wrong or bad or negative in some way. Now, freedom is a value that we hold dear in this country. In fact, it is the value that formed the basis of our system of government. The unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are written into the Constitution. It's even the mission of this church to inspire spiritual freedom. We're not here to tell anyone how to live their life. We do, however, offer some ideas on how to pursue happiness, which everyone is free to implement or not. And not judging others and how they live and pursue happiness is a big part of that. We meditate. Why? to know ourselves better and to free ourselves from that which no longer serves us, including judgment. Again, it is a choice whether you want to release judgment, but it definitely helps in the pursuit of happiness, in my opinion. I find that most people are far happier when they aren't sitting in judgment of others, and certainly when they aren't judging themselves. It's a path to personal peace, and therefore happiness, to let go of judgment. Now, many people would say that certain things are appropriate to judge, like harming another person. But I would submit that while harming another person does fall outside of most people's value systems, and we'd rather not do it, we've all done it. The story goes that when the great teacher Jesus was asked how to punish an adulterer, he said, "He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her." He already knew that nobody would throw a stone, because everyone at some point has done something they don't feel good about. It's what we do afterwards that counts the most. Do we spend the rest of our lives feeling bad about it? Or do we, after we recognize that we don't feel good about whatever we did, let go of the self-judgment, love ourselves anyway, and resolve not to repeat it? In the same way, when we see someone else doing something we don't like, we can choose to judge them and stop there, or we can decide to release that judgment and recognize them as a unique, magnificent, and yes, flawed child of the divine all-one consciousness, and then afford them the forgiveness we would want for ourselves and love them as they are. Now, that's easier said than done sometimes. I know that. As I was contemplating this sermon, I was on vacation in Taos, New Mexico. I was staying up at the ski resort there. Our hotel was right next to a stream that went almost right under our second floor balcony. It was a lovely spot. On the other side of the stream were a couple dozen good-sized aspen trees, a few pine trees, grasses, smaller trees of some sort, and any number of naturally occurring smaller plants. Each one of them has a different way of growing and being and living. Each one has different shaped leaves or needles, different types of seeds or ways of propagating their species, and different needs for water, sunshine, and nutrients. Each one needs a different amount of space and depth for its roots and leaves. You could say each one has a different perspective on things based on its particular needs and characteristics. Yet there they are, living together in fairly close quarters, and I think it's safe to say, not judging each other for the other's unique perspective. In fact, living in complete acceptance of and even cooperation with one another. Around the base of the trees, grasses and other species are growing their tiny roots in the in-between spaces of the trees' bigger roots. The trees grow their roots deep into the earth to receive its water and nutrients, and their trunks and limbs and leaves grow high into the sky to receive the sunlight. The plants that need more sun grow away from the trees. The ones that need more water grow closer to the stream. And let's not forget the water itself, sharing space with the fish and organisms that live within it, and the moss and the rocks. It doesn't judge the rocks, it just moves around them and moves on. It's all such a beautiful example for us to move around what's different from us and move on. Now, all that sounds very nice and utopian, but what about us humans? To say that the human experience is a little more complicated is quite an understatement. We have legs, for one thing, and we're not planted in one spot. We have highly developed and complex brains, communities, cultures, and needs. Our intellect and reasoning ability is a great asset, but it can also be part of what makes us create rules and judge each other for not following them. So, how do we step out of that personal, familial, and societal judgment of what doesn't fit the norm that we learn at such an early age and that we see all around us? Well, one thing we can do is cultivate compassion and empathy for those that we judge. It requires a little introspection, but one way to do that is that when we find ourselves judging someone, we can ask ourselves, have I ever done that thing I'm judging them for at some point in my life? If someone cuts you off in traffic, for example, you can ask, have you ever cut anyone off by mistake? Of course you have. Everyone has. Have you forgiven yourself for it? Probably. It was just a silly mistake after all. If you see someone behaving in a way that seems selfish to you, have you ever behaved selfishly? Of course you have. Again, I have, you have, everyone has. But often we can just apologize, let it go, and move on. Except when we can't. Then it requires a little more work to let it go, just like it might require more work to let go of judging things others do at times. For things that are harder not to judge, like when someone does some really grievous harm to us or someone else, I have a couple of ideas that might help. Number one, remember that letting go of judgment doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It just means that you aren't willing to carry the burden of that person's actions anymore. You may have heard of the idea that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's very harmful to you, but the other person goes on about their life oblivious to the poison. Judgment is like that poison too. It eats you up inside. It literally, though, does nothing to the person you're judging. So when you judge someone, consider freeing yourself from the judgment you have for that other person. Secondly, consider that usually when someone chooses to harm another person, it comes from a deep place of woundedness. Nobody intentionally kills another person or harms a child or is abusive unless they are deeply wounded themselves. Again, that doesn't give them license to do these things. It just explains them. And it doesn't mean that they get to be free of any consequences of their actions. But I would ask you to consider, have you ever done anything harmful to another person because of your own woundedness? Maybe not on the same scale, but have you ever snapped at someone you love because you were exhausted or something happened to you that left you hurting and you lashed out at someone who didn't deserve it? Have you ever harmed yourself or others by repeating an unhealthy pattern that you learned in childhood? Of course you have. Everyone has. Do you deserve forgiveness for that and to let go of your self-judgment for it? Of course you do. Everyone does. Is it at all possible to recognize that whatever you're judging comes from that same place of woundedness and that they are in just as much need of forgiveness as you are? Empathy is the key. Being able to understand and share on some level the feelings of another. Can you understand what may have led that person to do that terrible thing, even if you wouldn't do it yourself? Now, here's the kicker. Did you know that all judgment is self-judgment? I'm going to say that again. Did you know that all judgment is self-judgment? When we judge others, it's because there's something within ourselves that we usually don't want to see that we judge ourselves for. If you want to know what you judge yourself for, it can be helpful to look at what you judge others for. And this may be the topic of an entire sermon some other day. But for now, just know that what it means is that all forgiveness of others requires self-forgiveness first. If you can let go of judging yourself for whatever you did that is on any level, like what that other person did, you're well on your way to letting go of your judgment of them as well and spitting out that poison. And I want you to know, as is common in the lead up to delivering a message like this, I had a little growth period and an opportunity to use these ideas myself this week. I'll spare you the details, but I can tell you that empathy and compassion for myself and others, along with self-love, are what I needed to resolve it. It wasn't easy, but I was so grateful to have those tools to move beyond that challenging moment. In addition, as always, meditation really helps. Let's meditate on this and see how much judgment we can let go of. So let's start by taking a nice deep breath. Close your eyes, put your feet on the floor if it's comfortable. Let's check in with our grounding cord. Is it still there? If it is, imagine just releasing it from the tailbone and letting it drop into the center of the earth where it can be absorbed and transformed. Let's create a new grounding cord. So choose a color. It can be the same color or a different color that you chose before. And imagine a colored beam of light growing from that tailbone, from that spot, the base of your spine, down through the chair and floor, into the earth, all the way through the earth's crust and all the layers of the earth, and down into the center of the earth. Now let's begin by considering some things that seem reasonable to judge. Is there someone in your life that's done something you're having trouble letting go of judgment about? A family member, a friend, even someone in the public eye? Or is it you yourself that's done something you feel is judgeable? Bring up a picture of them or you in your imagination, in your mind's eye, and think about what it is that they did. While you look at that picture, scan your body. What feelings do you notice in your body? Along with the judgment you feel, is there anger, resentment, sadness, shame, guilt, pain, any other feelings? Where do you notice these feelings residing in your body? Are they attached to the judgment? Notice any self-judgment that's there as well, and feelings associated with that. Now notice whether these feelings are actually serving you. Do they help you move forward in life? Or are they that poison, that energy that's dragging you down or holding you back? Are you ready to release them and feel better? assuming that you are. Now, imagine a bubble about an arm's length out in front of you, kind of like a clear soap bubble that will act as a container as you release all that judgment and other difficult feelings and energies into it. Watch as you imagine letting these energies go, flowing out of your body into the bubble. Imagine releasing all that judgment, anger, resentment, shame, sadness, pain, guilt, self-criticism, self-doubt, fear, and self-judgment. And imagine all that energy flowing right out of your body and into the bubble. You might know exactly what those energies are, or maybe some of them just feel like tension in your body. You can let this tension go too. Just let it all go, whatever you notice, whatever you feel. Imagine letting that tension flow out of your body and into the bubble. Take your time, and if the bubble gets too full, just create as many more bubbles as you need to hold all the energy of those difficult feelings you're releasing. What a relief it is to let all that judgment, self-criticism go. There's no need to hold on to it any longer. Just keep releasing all that tension, all those emotions that aren't serving you. And whenever you're done, watch as the bubble or bubbles float away out of your space, up and away like a helium balloon, far, far away. And when they're so far away, you can barely see them anymore. Notice them burst and the energy inside of them dispersing, never to return to you. And now that you've released all that judgment, self-judgment, and all those painful emotions related to them, let's replace those energies you've released with the vibration of self-love. Would you imagine a big, bright, golden ball of light or a gold sun right above your head? Make it nice and big and bright, maybe as big as your aura field, or maybe even bigger. When you can see that big gold sun sitting above your head, write the words self-love right across the side of it. SELFLOVE. And watch as those words absorb into the gold sun and make the gold sun vibrate at the energy of self-love. Then imagine reaching up and poking a hole in the bottom of the gold sun and allowing all that gold energy to flow down into the top of your head, down through your body, and expanding out and filling your aura bubble with the energy of self-love. Really soak that self-love energy into your head, neck, and shoulders, your back, your chest, your belly and hips, all the way down your arms and legs, out to your toes and fingertips, and expanding throughout the field of energy that surrounds your body. Make sure it goes all the way around the back, the sides, above your head, below your feet, and around front. Notice the feeling of self-love flowing in this moment in all of your cells and throughout your body and aura. Notice how simple that was, that you can bring yourself back here anytime you want just by meditating. Whenever you're ready, just take another nice deep breath for the body and open your eyes and stretch. Notice if you feel different from the way you felt before and how easily you changed your experience. Okay, so normally this is the time in the service where we pass a basket and ask for contributions to the Church of Infinite Spirit. Since we can't pass a physical basket right now, we are accepting donations with deep gratitude through the website at innerconnection.org, INNER connection.org, and it's under the sanctuary menu. Please consider supporting the church if that feels right in your heart. We do ask that you contribute only what feels good to you from a place of joy and appreciation, and never, out of a sense of obligation. We are a nonprofit, and your donations are tax deductible. And please know that your contributions make a difference by helping with the website and other things that make this space possible. And we trust that the totality of your contributions will return to each of you many, many fold. Also, there's another easy and free way you can support this church, and that's through Amazon Smile. If you regularly order from Amazon, Amazon will contribute a small percentage of your purchases to the organization of your choosing, including this church. So to do so, go to smile.amazon.com, log in using your regular Amazon credentials, and when you're prompted, just select a charity. You can select Church of Infinite Spirit located in Thornton, Colorado. And then whenever you're ready to order something, just go back to smile.amazon.com and make your purchases. It's really that easy. I've been doing it for years, and it's just, you don't have to think about it more than once. Okay, so I have a few announcements. First, we will have a little social time on this Zoom after we close the service, like we normally would after our in-person services. So please stay and join us for that if you would like to. Also, there are a couple of classes this month that you might be interested in. Elizabeth Diamond will be teaching a deep dive on chakras, and that's on October 27th. And Lauren Sky will be teaching a graduate intensive class called Peace in Present Time on October 9th. So that's coming up, that's next Saturday. This coming Saturday, I should say. Both will be presented on Zoom, and you can find those on the website innerconnection.org under classes. Also, we have our monthly virtual meditation gathering on October 15th at noon this month. That's offered for free and by Zoom, so please join us for that. And you can find the link on the website under the sanctuary menu, and to get reminders, you can sign up to receive sanctuary updates there as well. And of course, the exciting one, if you're new to this church, well, that's not the exciting one, but anyway, if you're new to this church and are interested in learning the tools that we teach, well, this is kind of exciting. There is free on-demand class called Meditation for Living available on the website. And again, it's at innerconnection.org. Now, the really exciting one is please join us for church next month on November 7th as we ordain and welcome a new group of ministers to the Church of Infinite Spirit. Should be a really fun event, and we will be, that will be by Zoom as well. So we're continuing church by Zoom. Okay, so as we release this time we've spent together and move into the next part of our day, I sincerely thank you for being here and for the gift of your time and attention. I know that those are two of your most valuable resources. I will leave you with a quote from my dear poet friend, Val Zarek, who recently wrote, "Our light all comes from the same sun. Our light all comes from the same sun." I invite you to consider your oneness with all others, even those you judge, and release whatever judgment you have for them, knowing it will help you release your self-judgment too, and vice versa. Maybe you want to keep yourself in the no judgment zone we established at the beginning and stay in the self-love we brought in at the end. It's up to you. The opportunity is yours for the taking. Thanks so much for being here today. And now we are going to stop the recording and we'll have some social time for those who would like to stay. If you can't stay, it's all good. I'll say goodbye to you here. If you want to stay, you might want to turn your video on at this point, which again is a button on the bottom of your screen or somewhere on your phone app. And if you'd like to share, you can just take yourself off mute and I'll notice that and call on you. So